Hey, what is up, guys? It's your Lost Boy Rufio. Welcome back, and today we're going to be doing some more Call of Duty gameplay, some Search and Destroy, and we're going to be doing some Paramedic Stories. I've got a couple of crazy stories that happened recently. You guys are really going to like this for those that like the really weird, crazy calls. And but really quickly, this is just some Search and Destroy on, I believe, Splash, the new DLC map, and I think I go flawless in this game. I'm not sure, but it's a pretty fun game, and I just wanted to just picked another random game, so hopefully you guys enjoy that. So for those of you who do not know or are new to the series, I do a lot of story times, and for my job, I work as a paramedic on an ambulance at a fire station, and we run the 911 calls and get some pretty crazy calls sometimes. And I love sharing about them with you guys, and so hopefully you enjoy this call. So we get a call for a 30-year-old male who has came in as a trauma, and so we really have no idea what we're responding to. We show up, this guy is laying on the freaking bed. He's got blood everywhere. And so we look down in between his legs, and there's just a pile, just tons and tons of blood. And we're like, what's going on? And so what turns out what he actually did was he decided to cut off his testicles. He's about 30 years old, decided he was done being a male, and felt like he needed to cut off his testicles. And so what he did was he took actually some lidocaine and a scalpel. I don't know how he got it. We asked how he got the medical supplies, but he wouldn't tell us, of course. And so he took some lidocaine, numbed up the underneath the scrotum area, underneath the ball sack area, and made an incision, grabbed his testicles, pulled them out, and then cut them off. And oh my gosh, just thinking about it just makes me just cringe in pain, and I can't even imagine how much pain that must have been to cut off your own testicles. And so yeah, he actually successfully cut off his own testicles and flushed him down the toilet. And so there was tons of blood everywhere. So what of course we do, we have to stop the bleeding, so we package him up, stuff tons and tons of gauze inside of the scrotal area, and stuff him up, wrap him up, tight, and we have to hold pressure because he's bleeding through the bandaging. And we rushed him off to the trauma hospital, and it was insane how much blood he was losing. And so we gave him fluids, maintained his blood pressure, made sure he stayed alert and everything, and rushed him to the hospital. It was unbelievable. We gave him some pain medication, and yeah, he turned out doing okay in the end. But the funny thing is, you guys, this was not the first time that he attempted this. This just blows my mind. This is the second time that he's done this. The first time, about maybe 2 weeks ago, is what his family or friends said. About 2 weeks ago, he decided to try this and made the incision, pulled his testicles out, but he passed out before he actually cut his testicles. And so they rushed him to the hospital a couple weeks ago, and they were able to put the testicles back in, and they were able to sew it up, and he was I guess he was okay. And so this time he actually did it, and he flushed his balls down the drain. It just blows my mind what people will do, but he actually did it successfully, and he no longer has any more testicles. So they stitched him up and sent him into surgery, made sure he was, all the vasculature down there, made sure it was all repaired, and they did what they could. And yeah, so it was absolutely disgusting. I wish I could just show you guys what we could see. His ball sack was enormous. It was the size of obviously bigger than golf balls, because that's about the normal size for some people. It was almost the size of softballs. It was I'd say about the size of a normal baseball. Unbelievably huge, just swollen full of blood. So much blood in his ball sack area. His the shaft, the penis, everything was just completely swollen, just full of blood, and then down below is just gushing out blood. It was like he freaking gave birth. A male gave him birth. There's so much blood. It was absolutely disgusting. So, but anyways, that was our first call, or crazy call. If you guys have any other questions about that, feel free to leave a comment down below, and I'll answer your questions. Another call that we had was a guy that decided to take a bunch of drugs and beat up his girlfriend. So he took some LSD, took some meth, and he took marijuana and a couple other things that he wouldn't tell us. He was very, very out of it. Very, very aggressive. It took 3 police officers plus me and my partner and a couple firefighters to wrestle him. Like, he was very, very strong. He was fighting. He beat up his girlfriend. His girlfriend turned out to be okay. But yeah, it was a crazy, crazy mess. So we're wrestling him at his house, and we end up throwing him around. We kind of ended up throwing him into some of the what's it called, the dressers, the drawers and stuff, and throwing him on the ground. Like, he was just fighting, just wailing, just trying to beat all of us up. And like, he was tough, man. When those drugs get in you, you can do some pretty some supernatural shit, man. It's crazy. So we ended up getting this guy finally secured down into our stretcher, and took him to the hospital so he could detox off the whatever he took. We have no idea what he took. They did the blood tests and stuff to find out what he actually took, but we didn't stick around to find out all the things that he took. But he at least admitted to LSD, meth, and marijuana and something. I can't remember what else he took, but yeah, he admitted to those things, and he was just absolutely super combative. You know, those are some of the fun calls we get fighting with people, and we are allowed to defend ourselves and take care of so we don't get hurt. Then we had another call with a guy that had fallen and dislocated his shoulder. It's kind of cool. We actually got to watch the reduction of that, popping the shoulder back into place, and so we had to do a conscious sedation, make sure the guy was unconscious, put him unconscious, and so he couldn't feel any pain, and we shoved the shoulder back in place. It's pretty cool watching that. So anyways, that's about it for story time. I hope you guys enjoyed. I love sharing stories with you guys. It's been so great. We've been running a lot of crazy calls, and if you guys have any questions or if you like any specific stories from back in the past, maybe some funny ones, some weird ones, some gross ones, scary calls, you name it. If you want a special request, maybe I'll throw down that in the next story time. So thank you for hanging out, you guys. I really appreciate that. I hope you guys enjoyed the gameplay. Make sure to check out my Twitch live stream and follow me on Twitter. You guys are amazing. Leave a comment, like, and make sure you subscribe if you haven't. Love you guys. Take care.
Lost boys like me are free. Neverland is home to lost boys like me, and lost boys like me are free.